With Arsenal yet to announce deals for Jurrien Timber and Declan Rice, and reports over the past 24 hours suggesting that West Ham are becoming frustrated with the situation, in today's video I am joined by Arsenal fan Northside as we discuss the situation surrounding these two deals, and if we should be worried about the length of time that it's taken for these deals to be done. We're also going to discuss how this might be affecting Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal squad in their preparation for the new season ahead. Make sure you smash a like on the video, hit that subscribe button if you are enjoying the content and you are new, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video again. Come on guys, help your boy on the road to 2K. Let's do this. Now then guys, how are we all doing? Welcome back to True Gunners TV. I'm not expecting you to all be watching currently right now because no doubt you will be keeping a close eye on Arsenal's pre-season game. That is currently sat at 1-1 against the second-tier Bundesliga team, and we are drawing 1-1 in a pre-season game. That is just typical Arsenal. I've also heard as well that Arsenal's official website, where you can actually watch the game, crashed as well. So, you know, they're about as good as the bloody announcement team when it comes to new signings, isn't they, Northside? Anyway, guys, we're going to get into talking about Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber. I know. I said ages ago when we last did a video on Declan Rice that I was going to make it the last one, but Arsenal still have not signed either of these players officially as of yet. We haven't heard any form of announcement, and we've been hearing a lot of different things going on. Of course, the first one was that West Ham were growing increasingly frustrated at the fact that Arsenal have not got the paperwork to them yet to get this deal officially over the line. They were starting to panic that, you know, they wouldn't get the time that they need in order to get the replacement in. And there was rumours going around that they may pull out of the deal if Arsenal don't hurry that up. Over the last couple of hours, Sky Sports have come out and said that Arsenal have guaranteed West Ham that they will receive the payment paperwork for the Declan Rice deal tomorrow. Not sure about the Timber one. I don't know why the Timber one is being held up. It has nothing to do with the Declan Rice deal, but there you go. It is what it is. Of course, we're out in pre-season in Germany at the moment, expected to fly out to America on Sunday to continue on with our preparations as well. But, you know, I had to get Northside on here to have a discussion about this because this just seems to be a typical Arsenal thing. How are we doing, Northside, my bro, first of all?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Love, familia. Love for having me on. Estamos aqui, estamos bem. A vida tá boa. I'm good. Life is good. But yeah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Just want to get these deals over the line and move on to the next one. We started the window very well, so let's continue it. Let's go and get the striker that we need, the right winger that we need, and the midfielder that we need.
100%. I couldn't agree with you more. Just on the Declan Rice thing, like, how much of this do you feel is Arsenal playing games with West Ham? Of course, like throughout the deal, we've been hearing how West Ham have been tough negotiators. You know, we've had to pay the full amount over 3 installments. Arsenal originally wanted to do it over 5 or 6 years. We've had to kind of bow down to what West Ham are asking for and what they want. How much of this do you put down to Arsenal? You know, the shoe's on the other foot now. West Ham have agreed the deal. Arsenal are playing games a little bit, trying to make West Ham sweat in the way that we did. What do you think, bro?
There's no time to make them sweat. At the end of the day, we've seen that when we drag our heels in certain deals, we've had Vlahovic that didn't come, Higuain that didn't come, Vlahovic that didn't come, Mudryk that didn't come. The list goes on and on. Buendia that didn't come. So the fact that Man City they pulled out of that deal. Let's bear that in mind. They pulled out of the deal. It's not that we outbidded them. They pulled out and said, nah, we're not going to go over 90, 80 million. We're not going to pay any more for the player. Arsenal can have it. Yeah? That's something that worked for us. Because let's be real, treble winners, they've got all the money in the world, all your money. Yeah? We've actually been able to go for the player because our biggest rivals actually dropped out and said, "Nah, I don't want to pay what you lot are willing to pay for this player." Cool. The fact that we got him now, go out there and get the deal signed and done over the line. There's no more delaying. Yeah. If we're going to learn from the past, a lot of times when we've allowed teams like Man City, Chelsea's, Man United to go in and start bidding for our main players, we've lost out. In this case, Man City don't want to pay over the odds. They stick to how much they want to pay for a player or their valuation of a player, and anything over that they're not willing to pay for. Now that we've won the race and we are in prime position to sign a player, what is the delay? Why are we delaying it? For what? Based off of what? We are winning. We have won the race to get Declan Rice over the line. Go and get it. Because all this delay, all it does is it kind of like, all right, next news. We've been knowing about Declan Rice for how many weeks now? Just I don't even care. When he gets announced now, it takes that excitement away because you're just delaying the inevitable. We already know he's an Arsenal player. So just get it done. And let's move on to the next target. Yeah, and let's get them in. Let's get the next target in as soon as possible, like Declan Rice, so they can get adjusted to the way that the manager wants to play, the way that the team plays, and what is going to be required of him playing in the position that Arteta wants him to fill, whether that's in the 8 or the 6 or whatever. Get him adjusted to this team. Let's get players in and get them with a good pre-season, which we haven't done in previous years. And when the season starts, he already knows what's expected of him and he's firing and raring to go. I don't understand what the delay is about.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't agree with you more. I just feel like, you said it there perfectly. That we've known about this Rice deal for so long now. It's been spoken about for the last 6 months, ever since January. And now that we're finally there, agreed a deal, he's going to be an Arsenal player. It's kind of taking the excitement away, isn't it, bro? I just feel like I was really excited for this signing to begin with. And now it just feels like a bit of a slug and a drag on. And it's just like when it is announced, it's going to be like, whereas before, the way that it was being built up, the way that it was being hyped up, I think a lot of Arsenal fans, including myself, would have gone, okay, Declan Rice, 105 million. We're actually breaking the transfer record. We're actually going out there and doing what needs to be done. The players that, we need to sign of top quality, and he is top quality, probably one of the best in his position. And, with all of this as well, ever since this whole delay thing with Rice and Timber and all that, it's had a knock-on effect with the rest of the transfer market for Arsenal. Like, we haven't really heard much else going on, apart from, the odd rumour here and there, Tchouaméni, Mbappe, yeah, like Arsenal are going to get Mbappe, Jesus Christ. But it kind of, it's frustrating. It's really frustrating. And I worry as well how much it's going to affect us in terms of pre-season. Like I say, I've been keeping an eye on the Arsenal game today. And we all know the rumours surrounding Thomas Partey. Is he going to stay? Is he going to go? Well, what I can tell you right now is that ever since Thomas Partey come off the pitch in the pre-season game, we lost control of the midfield yet again. So it just goes to show exactly how important Thomas Partey is. And if you're going to replace Thomas Partey, but part of that replacement is bringing in Declan Rice, Declan Rice needs to be playing as much pre-season and getting used to this Arsenal system and the pressure that comes with Arsenal as well. Because let's not forget, right, when you're playing for West Ham, it's not the same pressure as what you're getting at Arsenal Football Club, especially this season. This season, we are expected to win. And I think the entire fan base is on the same page with that. There's not very many people that are actually saying, well, as long as he gets top 4, it's all good. A lot of people are expecting Arsenal to win a trophy and compete for the Premier League yet again this season. And that is the minimum expectation, minimum. And when you're transitioning into a team in the way that Declan Rice is going to have to, you just don't know how much time it might take for him to transition into the way that we want to play, The way we play and the way that West Ham play are completely different. West Ham are very much sit back, hit on the counter. We want to be progressive. We want to have majority possession of the ball. We want to put teams under pressure. Now, I think Declan Rice will thrive in them situations, but you never really know. You know, we're seeing currently at the moment Kai Havertz playing in that 8 role, left 8 role, where Granit Xhaka used to play. Of course, he's left. And it's not the same as what it is when he was playing for Chelsea. It's completely different. It's completely different in the way that we play, the style of play, everything. You know, you've got to adjust to everything. And Declan Rice is the same thing. So I'm very disappointed in Arsenal in the fact that they didn't get this deal over the line so that he could go over to Germany and play the first game against Nuremberg or whatever they're called. Of course, I expect to see him over in America to play against MLS All-Stars, Manchester United, and Barcelona. But I'm going to start getting worried if this deal doesn't get done real soon. And the Timber one as well. Like, what's the hold-up with the Timber one? What do you reckon, bro? What's the hold-up with that one?
This is what I mean. 2 players that nobody else is in for. We've got the player over the line, both of them, and there's a delay. For what? What is that filo da puta Edu doing? Get out of your Havana flip-flops and get the deal sealed and delivered. That is it. And it takes away anyone trying to come in last minute. Just get it done. I don't know why we always take so long to get stuff done. I've been giving the club props. I've been criticizing the club, and everything that I criticize the club for, if they do different, I'll praise them. Yeah. The fact that we always take so long to get deals done. We've got the Timber deal done. We've got the Declan Rice deal done. Havertz, which I don't rate, but we've got it done. That is what I want to see. Now that you've got it done, just get it over the line. There's still a lot of positions that we need filling. We need rotation for Saka because 2 seasons in a row, that guy's burnt out. And I don't blame him. I'm not sending no shots to Saka. I love Saka. Juro por Deus, I love Saka, bro. I love Saka. At the end of the day, no player can play every game in every competition. Carabao Cup, FA Cup, European competition, and every game in the Premier League. You're going to burn out. Get us an adequate replacement or rotation. We saw that it worked wonders for Martinelli with Trossard coming in. It boosted his position because he now is not looking at every week, every fixture saying, I'm definitely playing. Now you got Trossard up your ass. And Trossard was on fire. He was on fire when he came. So why not do that the same thing to the right-hand side with Saka? Then you look at Jesus. Jesus is very effective in a lot of games, but there's a lot of games where he's not as effective. There's a lot of games of him dropping in deep. A lot of defenses can set in 2 banks of 4 and you can't unbreak it. And there's a lot of teams that if you don't bury them, you only got 1 or 2 chances. With somebody like Jesus that's not a clinical finisher, it's not good enough. If you miss those chances with Jesus, he needs an abundance of chances because he's not a world-class finisher. He's world-class in everything else, in the build-up play and his vision. But in terms of being a clinical striker, he's not clinical enough. Go and get us that. I've always said it. I always look at Man United. Man United had an abundance of different players. You had Berbatov, you had Tevez, you had Rooney. Then you had Van Persie, all different styles of strikers that can undo different styles of systems and defenses. And that is what you need. I know a lot of Arsenal fans go with the, oh, well, we've got Jesus, let's get another Jesus. Bro, Jesus wasn't enough for us to win the league. Let's just keep it real. Even if he was fit, he's not clinical enough. He doesn't give you 20 to 30 goals a season. So as great as we had goals all over the pitch, we had goals from our midfielders, from our wide attacking players, we also need a striker that's going to bang more times than not. We need that. Then you look at the midfield. We got rid of Xhaka. We need someone that can replace Xhaka and somebody else on the bench that can rotate with that position. So we need to go out and get 2 players for the fact that we got rid of Xhaka. So we need 2 for me, I feel like we need 2 midfielders, a striker, a winger, and another right wing and another right back. A lot of people will say, oh, Timber can only play 1 position at a time. If we have an injury to our centre-backs, Kivior ain't good enough and Rob Holding ain't good enough. So Timber will be coming in if Gabriel or Saliba gets injured. Okay, cool. You got Timber. He's filling in if one of them 2 gets injured. Who's going to rotate on the right-back position? Because Cedric ain't good enough and Tomiyasu ain't good enough. Yeah? Timber can only play one position at a time. We need to go get another right back so that we got adequate replacement if we get an injury to a right back and a centre back. But at the moment, we've got Timber that can play either position. But what if we got injuries to a centre back and a right back? Then what? Yeah? The versatility thing, we had it last year. I'm fed up of this versatility. I don't give a shit. Get me decent rotation ready on the bench for each position. Because if you get multiple injuries, that player can only play one position. So it's irrelevant. That's how I look at it, bro.
I'm in agreement. I'm in agreement with you. I do feel like we need some, more players. Striker's position is very interesting, because if you take a look at Balogun from last season and how clinical he was in front of goal, I did a video on this earlier on in the week. If you guys haven't seen that video, make sure you go and check it out after this. And I think in total, Reims had 58 shots on target in the entire season, and Balogun converted 22 of them. However, having said that, as I say, Arsenal's pre-season game has just been playing, and we just got someone in here from the comments. Big up yourself, Shimos, who says Balogun is not the guy. Just missed free sitters. Sell for 40 million, lads. So I don't know. This is a difficult one, really. I mean, what would you do, Northside, with Balogun? Because his stock is high at the moment. His stock is extremely high. He had a great season out in France. I mean, Mikel Arteta has given him the opportunity in pre-season. I know it's only one game today, and players are just coming back, so you're not going to see their full fitness and that. But when you get given an opportunity like today, this is where the likes of Balogun and Ethan Nwaneri, Kai Havertz, all these players need to be taking their opportunities in these games. Just doesn't seem like that is the case at the moment. And if you're going to go out and sign another striker that is clinical, that can score you 20 goals a season, like we was both saying just a minute ago, you're talking upwards of 70, 80 million pound. So what would you do, Northside? Because I'm intrigued to know, bro.
For me, I look at it as simple. This could be a Gnabry part 2. Gnabry, we never gave him a chance, loaned him out to West Brom, and look at the player that he became. At the end of the day, you're not going to lose out on anything. It's not like we broke the transfer record with Pepe, and we need to recoup the money that we spent on him. Give him a chance. A lot of people advocated for Rob Holding to be given another chance. For the last 20 years, a big part of that, he's been the reason of our downfall. He ain't been good enough. A lot of people were happy with El Nene, signing El Nene to a new contract. What has he ever done? 2 seasons ago, he bottled getting top 4 against Tottenham when we was in prime position to get top 4. 10 games to go, we needed to rely on him, and he wasn't good enough. But yet people celebrated him getting a new contract. Eddie Nketiah on 100k, number 14. Yeah, has he delivered? Last season, he was getting put on the bench for Trossard, and Trossard was playing out of position. So at the end of the day, get the money for Nketiah and give Balogun a chance, because Nketiah we've given a chance and he's not good enough. He is not good enough. Then you look at the bench. There's other players. There's more players that don't deserve a chance and should be sold before we even think about selling Balogun. Lokonga, what did he contribute for us getting top 4? What did Fabi Vieira contribute for us getting top 4 and finishing second? What did he contribute, bro? What did he contribute? It makes no sense. We have not seen Balogun at Arsenal. Yeah, some people may have not been convinced about Saliba, but Saliba's come back from loan, like Balogun, had a very good loan spell, and he's kicked off at Arsenal. So if we've given Saliba a chance, why would we not give him Balogun? And if we were ready to be giving Nketiah a chance, playing for us and not being out on loan, why are we not giving Balogun? Because we already identified that Nketiah ain't good enough. He's not good enough. He's a fox in the box, but he don't score enough goals. We got rid of Lacazette after scoring. His best season was what, 14 goals in the season? He was deemed not good enough. Aubameyang shared the golden boot with Salah one season, scoring 20 goals in a whole Arsenal team that was completely dysfunctional, and he was deemed not good enough. So why are we going to keep Nketiah and get rid of Balogun? Why? Because the last time I seen, Chelsea ain't looking at Nketiah. None of these teams, we've got the teams that are linked with Balogun, AC Milan, teams in League 1, yeah, Chelsea. None of them are looking at Nketiah. Does that not ring a bell? When do these clubs come in and get our dead wood? They clearly seen something in the boy. So why don't we actually give him game time? Man United have been great at that. They gave Rashford game time, and look, he's become a starter for them. Yeah, he may have sunk, but they gave him the opportunity to either sink or swim. Yeah. Greenwood, another absolute baller. It's a shame with all the politics going around him and what he done, which I do not condone. But in terms of football ability, the guy's a top-class striker. He's a top-class striker. But if they said, oh, well, you know what, Nketiah or Rashford, oh, we'll get him out on loan. He's done it out on loan, but we haven't seen what he's done at the club. Let's just sell him. We can get the top money. Then what? Because with hindsight, should we have got rid of Gnabry? But we never gave him a chance. So we're going to do the same mistake with Balogun? It makes no sense to me. Give him a chance. If he's not good enough, cool. He'll go for top dollar. It doesn't really matter anyway, because we're going from the youth system. It doesn't matter. We didn't invest in this guy. And at the end of the day, if people are telling me that they're not convinced on Balogun, well, hold on. The whole reason we got Havertz was because people told me that Arteta can work with Havertz. He can get the best out of him. Well, okay, if you can get the best out of Havertz, why can't you get the best out of Balogun? Because he had a great loan spell in League 1 last season. Why can you not get the best out of Pepe? Because Pepe, we broke the transfer record for him before Declan Rice. Why can't you get the best out of him? There's more incentive to get the best out of Pepe than Havertz. We broke the transfer record to get Pepe. So work with him. He's got attributes. Yes, he takes a long time in the final third. He's not the complete player. But if people are telling me that they're going to justify Reece Nelson getting a new deal, what the hell has Reece Nelson done? And is Reece Nelson got the ability of Pepe? No. Pepe, one-on-one, will put you in your ass. And Pepe will score top bins outside the box. Pepe can be a fox in the box, come into the box and do a little tapping. He's got a variety of different goals that he can do. So at the end of the day, he's got more ability than Reece Nelson. Yeah? So it doesn't make any sense. If Arteta is so great at getting the best out of players that are not the complete players, well, there's a lot of players here that he can work with and get the best out of. Nuntabaj, Lokonga, Cedric, Tomiyasu, Fabi Vieira, Reece Nelson, Pepe. It is what it is. So why can't he work with Balogun? Why can't he not develop Balogun to being a top striker, yet he can get the best out of Havertz, and Havertz ain't done nothing in the Premier League? He's never been consistent. It makes no sense. That argument makes no sense to me. So if people are justifying Havertz to me, why can't he get the best out of Balogun? That's how I look at it.
I see the logic behind it. I see the logic behind it. I'm actually one of them who's not too... Well, let's put it this way, Northside. Me and you, we agree on the majority of things. I actually think that Havertz will be I'm not going to say a top signing for Arsenal, but a decent signing for Arsenal. I can see, the attributes of Kai Havertz and it working in the system if Mikel Arteta can get the best out of him. But at the same time, I also like the Havertz signing because it's a massive risk. It's £65 million spent. If it doesn't work out, then guess what? We have to hold people accountable. Something that the football club hasn't wanted for a long, long time, and the fans as well. And, I've said this to many fans. If Kai Havertz does not work out at Arsenal, the person who made that decision, which we know is Mikel Arteta, will have to be held accountable. It's as simple as that. None of this giving free passes and all that no more. It has to be you need to hit the ground running now. That's it. Simple as. You've spent over £700 million. By the time, we finish this transfer window, if we go and spend another 100 million, which I would say isn't inconceivable considering we need a midfielder, a striker, you name it, whatever else. And yeah, I look on it and I think, okay, the club's taking risks with certain things. Hopefully they take a risk with Balogun. I'd like to see Balogun,
What are the attributes that you see at Havertz? I'm just interested to know.
You're going to like this one. If you go back to when he played for Bayern Leverkusen. Oh, I'm doing that typical Arsenal thing. If you look at the way that he played in their kind of midfield 10/8 role, he was a lot more dangerous than what you've seen at Chelsea. Now, I know he's played in the 8 at Chelsea. I know he's also played in the 10 at Chelsea. He's played in lots of different positions at Chelsea. But Chelsea are a very dysfunctional team at the moment and have been for the last couple of years. So I look at the way that we play, everything's all set up. You know, defensively, we've got Thomas Partey there, hopefully, if he stays. You've got Martin Odegaard in front. You've got a set front three of Jesus, Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka. So I don't see why one piece of this puzzle couldn't work well with the rest of the pieces that are currently in the puzzle. I mean, if you look at Granit Xhaka, for example, different attributes to Kai Havertz, and I would say, you know, a bit more robust, a bit more physical, a bit more of a bully boy than Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz is a bit of a weakling off the ball, let's just say, and defensively not great. But in terms of going forward, which is predominantly what Granit Xhaka was doing for Arsenal last season, I think Kai Havertz will actually be more effective in the final third than Granit Xhaka. Okay, people will get on to me because Kai Havertz didn't score that many goals at Chelsea. You know, he missed quite a lot of opportunities. I think a lot of that comes down to confidence. A lot of that comes with confidence. I think if Mikel Arteta can get confidence into Kai Havertz, he has the abilities. You know, he has the ability to be able to do it. It's just whether Arteta can get it out of him. And like I say, if he can't, then he'll be held accountable for it. Because let's be honest, £65 million could have been spent elsewhere. You know, if it doesn't work out, you could say we could chuck an extra £20 million on top of that 65 million and get bloody Caicedo. So we're going to have to see what happens with this one. And I kind of feel, I don't know, the Havertz one is more of an intriguing, not exciting, but more of an intriguing signing than the Declan Rice and the Timber deal, because we already know what we're going to get from Declan Rice. You know, we already know what we're going to get from Timber pretty much. What are we going to get from Kai Havertz? This is where it becomes very interesting, in my opinion. With Balogun, I mean, I only have to ask you one question. You know, anybody who is pro Eddie Nketiah, let's get rid of Balogun. Let me ask you one question. We get an injury, a long-term injury to Gabriel Jesus again. You know, we haven't got Trossard available because he's covering that left-hand side, whatever it may be, right? You don't want to see Kai Havertz playing in the 9. I certainly don't, because he's just not good enough there. So we're going away to the Bernabeu. Champions League, last 16. Away to the Bernabeu, we need a win. Jesus is out injured. Trossard's playing on the left. So you have to play Eddie Nketiah up front. Away to the Bernabeu. Eddie fucking Nketiah up front. Is this what we want, Arsenal fans? I would much rather we had Balogun up front, somebody who is clinical, somebody who can offer us something different. That's the other thing as well with Balogun, right? He can offer us something different. That's what Arsenal fans are crying out for, including myself. We need somebody who can offer us something different. If you go back to Balogun last season, he scored loads of different types of goals in the French league. He's not just a fox in the box like Eddie Nketiah. He's not just, you know, an out-and-out goal scorer. We've seen him play on the left-hand side when he was out on loan at Middlesbrough. They predominantly played him, you know, out wide. So he can play across the front three. And he still scored, I think it was 6 goals in 18 games. So it's not a bad return for a guy who's never played, you know, first-team football before. So I look on it like this. If we're going to sell Balogun, that's fine. Sell him. But make sure you're bringing in somebody like a Victor Osimhen, a Harry Kane, an Ivan Toney. You know, it has to be that level of player to replace him. Otherwise, don't sell him at all. And like you say, get rid of Eddie Nketiah. He's had his time now at Arsenal. He's been given ample opportunity to stake a claim, and he hasn't proven himself. Once again today, Mikel Arteta started him up front ahead of Gabriel Jesus today to give him an opportunity, right? And he didn't take it. He didn't do nothing. Didn't do a fucking thing. So it's all right, people saying, he scored a few goals last season in important moments in the season. And I agree with that. He did. He come up with the 2 goals against Manchester United when we desperately needed it. But apart from that, is he going to take Arsenal to the next level and help us compete for league titles year in, year out, and Champions Leagues? Let's not forget this, because now we're back there. I want to see Arsenal competing for it, not, we'll go out in the group stage. Olympiacos is coming up. Yeah, we'll go out to them. Unai Emery's back in it. Good evening. We'll go out to him. Do you know what I mean? Like, none of this can happen any longer. Mikel Arteta has to compete in all competitions because it hasn't been good enough. So that's my feelings on it. Guys, in the comment section, let me know. I'm just going to read out a few comments and then we're going to move on to the next segment of the show where I'm going to ask Northside if he was in charge of Arsenal. And I'm going to run through a few players.
I'm going to quickly run to the toilet, yeah? Is that all right?
Yeah, bro, of course, yeah. Cool. I'm going to ask Northside, if he was in charge of Arsenal, which players would he keep and which players would he sell and which players would he sign for Arsenal? I'm going to give him a budget as well and we'll see where we go with that. Let's have a look, see who we've got in here now. Everybody's tuning in now that the Arsenal game is finished. What was the keeper doing? It was poor. Tell me about it, bro. Static says, hey, Brandon and Northside, how are we doing? Static, big up yourself. Mohammed says, Arsenal does need a striker or else we are in trouble. There you go. NS Sports says, hi, big up Brandon and Northside, big up yourself, NS Sports TV. Vieira is a good squad player, but when it comes to first 11, Fabio Vieira, man. I reckon I've got more muscle than Fabio Vieira. I reckon I've got more physicality than Fabio Vieira. I reckon my 2-year-old son's got more physicality than Fabio Vieira. And that's a big problem. I don't think it's necessarily his ability. I do think he's got ability there. Can we get it out of him? And he's a bit like Kai Havertz, a bit of a weakling on the ball. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't know. Vieira needs to be loaned out. Yeah, you could loan him out. I think Kai is very lazy. He has to work on that. Well, let's put it this way. Mikel Arteta will not have lazy players in his team. No way. If Kai Havertz carries on with that sort of attitude, it'll be quick out, straight away. We can't afford to have passengers in this team in the way that we want to play football, expansive football. We should have got Serge Milinkovic-Savic. We missed on a perfect number 8. Havertz is not good defensively, but yes, going up front, he's without a doubt. Missing on Savic was pathetic. Oh, here we go. I am happy with the draw. At least I would now expect the manager to get some attacking players or else we'll sink. See, it just goes to show, the poor performance that we just had against a second division bloody Bundesliga team. Do you know what I mean? And they're not even a good second division Bundesliga team. They finished 14th last season in their league. It's ridiculous. Reckon Declan Rice will be an Arsenal player tomorrow. Who knows, bro? How many times has Fabrizio Romano, tweeted out? 24 hours, 48 hours time, Declan Rice will be announced by Arsenal. We've heard that for the last 12 days. So, it'll be what it will be, and we'll wait and see. Subbed says J1 Hilton. Big up yourself, J1. I appreciate your support, my friend. Vieira, bring that Brazilian brown envelope deal. Arsenal signing Kasatov will come home to roost. There's a reason they are allowed to leave. Shy Havertz, please enlighten me, guys. LDN go on a small philosophy session about Havertz. Mohammed says 210 million, not enough, bro. You're thoughts, guys? Yeah, it's not enough. It's not enough. And it brings us perfectly onto the next segment. Northside, you're in charge of Arsenal. You know the players that we currently have. Of course, you know, like, you can't get rid of the new signings. That's the only one stipulation that you have. I'm going to run through a few players. You're going to tell me keep, sell, or loan. And then I'm going to give you a budget to go out and spend on players that we need, or you feel we need, to complete this squad to go on and compete for the league title. So, our first player, Nicolas Pepe.
Keep. Get the best out of him, like he said he's going to get the best out of Kai Havertz as a rotation.
Okay. Second player, Sambi Lokonga.
Sell.
Okay. Mohamed El Neni.
Sell.
Cedric Suarez.
Sell.
Rob Holding.
Sell.
Tommy Asu.
Sell.
Ooh, sell. Okay. Let me think. Kieran Tierney.
Keep.
I can't say Reece Nelson because he's just signed a new contract. Eddie Nketiah. We already know this one. Following Balogun.
Keep.
Let me think. Fabio Vieira.
Sell.
Okay. Who else is in there? Let me think. Thomas Partey.
Keep.
Jorginho.
Sell.
Okay. Not going to say Martinelli because obviously we'll keep him. Okay, so how much money do you reckon you'll make from all your sales then?
ESR.
ESR, okay.
Sell.
Sell.
Yeah.
Interesting. I'd keep ESR.
What's the difference between ESR and Diaby back in the day?
Yeah,
Both
you're right.
had abundance of talent on the day when they are fit. When, and the key word is when they are fit, they're great. But these filhos da puta estão sempre lesionados. They're always injured. You cannot rely on players like that. Arsenal fans get onto Man United about flipping, what's his name? What's his striker? Martial. What's the difference between Martial and ESR? ESR is young, you know. We kept with the faith with Diaby. There's certain injuries that you keep seeing reoccurring and long injuries that keep them out for months on end. Cut ties. Because as talented as a player can be, they're keeping up a space. And if you're not delivering, what is the point? What's the point? It's not like he's a Neymar. Neymar I could advocate for because when Neymar is fit, he gives you minimum 8 out of 10. World-class player. Then I can kind of understand. But it's an ESR, a player that's developing. When we see Martinelli and Saka developing, have they been injured for months on end? How can you develop if you're constantly injured? How can you get the game time if you're constantly injured? How can we see the best of you if you're constantly injured? Sell that filo da puta. And the thing is, yeah, for me, no más Seneca, I don't feel like he's good enough. Because I actually think there's talent in ESR. I actually think ESR gives you a lot, even if you play him in the 10. But you're injured. This isn't NHS. This isn't Bupa. We gotta go. You gotta go. It is what it is. No like it, no like it. And for me, I don't like it. The fact that he's constantly injured, that filo da puta has to go. He's just that. That's it. That's how I feel about it.
Okay, so how much do you reckon Arsenal would get for ESR?
Well, he's Project Youth. He's British. We can at least get 30, 40 mil.
Okay. It's funny actually because Aston Villa, was it last season? Aston Villa were offering for ESR. We chose to keep hold of him, and then he spent the whole season injured, just like you said. It's
What's going on? Brandon's got big family life problems. Look at him. He's a grown man, you know.
Newborn screaming in the background, bro.
He's like, get rid of him, get rid of that fiddle, that
Get rid of it. Chuck it out the window. Yeah, so ESR, yeah, Aston Villa wanted him. They offered £35 million, didn't they? And we chose to keep hold of him. You're right about the whole Diaby thing, though. Diaby was very talented, always injured. ESR, it's a big season for him at Arsenal. It really is, because if he, like you say, spends the rest of the season out injured, sorry, but you have to go. And it's the same with Tomiyasu, because you guys that watch me on the Football Terrace will know I called him the Japanese Bellerin. I don't even know if he's the Japanese Bellerin, because this geezer is never fit. You know, he's never able to start football matches for Arsenal. So, the Japanese Diaby.
I call him the white Diaby. That's what I call ESR, the white Diaby. That's it.
The white Diaby. There you go. So, yeah, so we're fetching, let's say, 30 million for ESR. How much for Lokonga, do you reckon?
Lokonga, 15 to 20 million. The guy's been trash. Absolute trash.
15 to 20 million. Let me just work this out. So say 30 million for ESR. We'll say 15 million for Lokonga. How much for Jorginho? I think he's got
20 million. What's he? 31?
I think he's got 1 year left on his contract though.
20 million. He was up for the Ballon d'Or. If we finesse that, 20 million.
20 million. Oof.
The fact that you're going off and a lot of people rate Jorginho is a madness. Because if people really believed how much they rate Jorginho, they'll be saying, nah, he's 40, 50, 60 million at 31. But he's not.
I'll give you 10 million for Jorginho. 10 million.
Maybe I'm just trying to finesse teams, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who else did you say he was going to sell? El Neni, how much?
5 million.
5 million?
5 million. Yeah, bang on.
Okay. Who else did we say? Eddie Nketiah.
He's young, English tax. I say 30 mil.
30 mil.
30.
Who else did we say? Oh, Tomiyasu.
Tomiyasu, probably 15 mil.
15. Okay. Who else did we say? Rob Holding.
Rob Holding, what's he? 28, 29?
Yeah, something like that.
Another 15 mil.
Okay. We said, who else did we say? I think there was another one. Fabio Vieira.
Vieira. How's Vieira like? 23, 24?
Yeah, about 23, I think.
25 to 30 mil.
So we'll call it 30 mil.
Okay.
And I think that's all the players then, yeah. So you've generated 150. Yeah, you done Tomiyasu, 15 mil.
Yeah.
So from player sales, you've generated £150 million.
we're lit right now. Yeah. Okay.
So me now being Mr. Kroenke, I'm going to say, look, Northside, you've sold me a lot of players. You've generated 150 mil. I'll let you reinvest that into the squad. And I'll give you an extra £50 million on top of that. So 200 million to get all the positions that you need. What are you doing?
Caicedo,
how much are we saying? 80 million?
80, 70 mil. 80 mil, probably 80 mil. No?
We'll call it 80 mil, yeah?
Call it 80 mil. João Felix, what's he valued at? Because he ain't been smashing it, even though he's got bare potential.
I'm not sure what his valuation is. I know they're looking to loan him out again, aren't they? So
but they'll take money. They want to sell him. He's falling out with Simeone.
Say 40 million?
Right, I'm getting him. So now you've got a rotation for Odegaard. You've got a replacement for Xhaka. And right back area, I don't know. I don't know who's a good right back that I'd go for. I can't lie to you.
Well, let's say you got Jurrien Timber that plays right back then. So you have to get in a centre back instead.
Centre back. It's kind of hard. There's not a lot of world-class centre backs out there that we can afford.
What about someone like Levi Colwill?
I'll take him.
So let's say another 45 mil, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's 165.
People are saying John Cancelo. How much would they want for him?
Well, Cancelo? Probably about 60 mil.
Is that within my budget? That's left?
If you take away Levi Colwill and say Cancelo, then say 60 mil, you've spent 180, so you got 20 mil left.
Huh?
You got 20 mil left.
20 mil. What do I do with that 20 mil? We need but if I'm keeping Pepe, then I have rotation for Saka. I've got 2 midfielders. I've got a right back. We haven't got a striker. That's the thing. So I'd get Ivan Toney instead of Cancelo and get Coleman.
So Ivan Toney, you're talking 60 mil then?
Yeah, it's the same thing. And
you've not got enough for Colwill though.
Huh?
You've not got enough for Colwill if you do that.
Who would be left?
So you've gone Caicedo for 80 mil.
Yeah.
You've gone João Felix for 40 mil. You've gone Ivan Toney for 60 mil. And you've got 20 mil left to spend.
Sell Trusty.
Oh, yeah, Trusty. I didn't think about him. So how much are we getting for Trusty?
He's still young enough. 20 to 30 mil.
20 mil.
Who else have we got? What other bums have we got in this club?
I'll give you 15 mil for
You're trying to make it tight, you know.
I'll give you 15 mil for Trusty. So that gives you 20 plus 15. That's 35 mil. You've got 35 mil to spend.
That's great. Sell Patino.
Sell Patino as well. Oof.
Yep.
Okay. So what are we getting for Patino? What? 15 mil?
I'd say you could push it 20. English tax.
20 mil. So you got 55 mil to spend now.
Yeah, is that enough?
That's enough for Colwill, yeah. It's enough for Colwill.
What do you mean? What about Tony? Tony was 60 mil, so we can get him.
Yeah. You got Tony.
Yeah,
so
Colwill going for how much? How much have we got left?
You got 55 mil.
Yeah, that can get Colwill.
Yeah, Colwill was going for 45.
Yeah, we can get him plus add-ons. That's fine. We can get him done.
Yeah, so you got 10 mil left from all of that then. So basically, of all the players that you've sold, you're going to bring in Caicedo, you're going to bring in João Felix, you're going to bring in Ivan Toney, and you're going to bring in Levi Colwill.
Yeah.
Okay. The only issue that I see with that is who's going to play the 8.
Well, you got Caicedo that can play alongside Declan Rice, and then you got João Felix that can play ahead of them. Because João Felix is better than Odegaard. Caicedo is better than Xhaka. Then you've got Partey or Declan Rice. I'll play Declan Rice and make Partey work for his place because he's fallen off for 2 seasons in a row. Then you've got Coleman that can rotate with Saliba and Gabriel. And then you've got Ben White and you've got Timber that can play as a right back. And then you've got Partey and Saka that can rotate on the right wing. There you go. The way he's going to work with Havertz, work with Partey. He's a rotation. Work with him.
Okay. I'm going to do the same thing. I've got 200 million to spend.
Go on.
Let me think. I'm going to sell Pepe.
Okay.
I'm going to sell Pepe. And I reckon we'll get about 20 million for him.
Is that worth selling?
I'm going to sell him anyway.
Okay, cool. This is you.
Because within my 200 mil, so I've got 220 mil now. Within my 220 mil, I'm bringing in Leroy Sané. So how much are we saying Leroy Sané will fetch for?
They're so high. He hasn't. It's not like he's on his last. Is he on his last year? I don't think so. I can check on
I'm
the
not
transfer.
sure.
But carry on. Yep.
I'm bringing in Leroy Sané for, I'm going to say about 60 mil.
60 mil, yeah? It's loading now. He's valued at transfer market. They do it in euros, 65 million euros.
Yeah,
That's
so
what, 55 million pounds?
55, we'll call it 60 million. Call it 60 million. So that's 60 million gone. I'm bringing in Ivan Toney for 60 million. So that's 120 million. I'm bringing in Frankie de Jong for, what are we saying, 70, 75?
Okay.
So call it what, 70? Yeah, call it 70. So that's Frankie de Jong, that's Ivan Toney. Let me just calculate this one up. Ivan Toney 60 mil. Leroy Sané 60 mil. Frankie de Jong 70 mil. That's 190 mil. That, eh?
That's with the same players sold, yeah?
Same players sold, but I've added Pepe onto that as well. So I've got 190 million. I had 220 because I sold Pepe. So that leaves me with 30 million to spend on the centre back or a right back. I'm going to go with a right back. And I'm going to go with, what's the brother's name from Brighton? Used to play for Chelsea.
Cancelo? No. What's his name?
Used to play for Chelsea. Plays for Brighton.
I don't know.
Oh, what's his bloody name?
Help us in the chat.
Come on, chat.
Looking it up right now. I don't know. There's Mark Cucurella, Chilwell, Reece James.
No, it's not him.
Gusto.
Where is he?
Not seen him.
Where is he?
Lewis Hall.
Come on, chat. Get in the chat. It's right back. Plays for Brighton. Used to play for Chelsea. Little black fella. What's his bloody name?
Let's check. What's going on here? All these flipping pop-ups, man. Fuse that move out the way. Espanian, Lamptey,
Lamptey. That's it. Tariq Lamptey.
Okay, you get Lamptey, yeah?
Yeah, I'm going Lamptey as my right back. So I've gone Leroy Sané, Ivan Toney, Frankie de Jong, and Tariq Lamptey to fill my positions in my squad. Which squad's better? Which one's better? Get yourselves in the chat. Let us know whose is better, mine or Northside's. We've both gone to sell the same players.
Who's going to rotate on the 10?
Sorry?
Who's going to rotate on the 10?
I'm going to rotate between Kai Havertz and Martin Odegaard in the 10.
Martin Odegaard, that cara chimbacale de mierda, that guy is trash, bro. That guy is. I'm sorry, bro. We agree and we disagree. The thing is, I love that we agree and disagree. That's what football's about. But
Who's
that
trash?
guy is trash. He's not a world-class creator. He's not a world-class goal scorer. He's not techie on the ball. What is he great at?
Who are we talking about?
Havertz, bro.
Havertz.
We're not going to talk about Odegaard because the last 10 games to go, the last 5 games to go, Odegaard went missing. So you can't count on him. A couple of games to go, he goes missing. Havertz, is he really an upgrade? No, he's not. And let's keep it real. I'm not trying to call you out, but me nor you were calling out for, you know what? The best player to rotate with Odegaard is Havertz. He ain't good enough. We're banking on Arteta working with him. Arteta ain't been able to work with the signings that he got. Fabi Vieira, Lokonga. I don't see it, bro. Nor do I see the quality within the player. This is what I keep saying. Every stream that I've been on, for as much as people trash Pepe, there's attributes I can say that Pepe is top class at. Yeah, he's top class on 1v1. He's top class in variety of goals. He can score within the box and he can give you a goal, top bins outside the box. Out of the blue. Doesn't need anybody else around him. Out of the blue, boom, top bins. I can't say that for Havertz. Havertz were going off of a 1 goal in the Champions League. That's 1 goal, bro. Pepe was performing week in, week out in the Europa League to get us to the final. For me, the better player to work with is Pepe. Both of them are not the final. I wouldn't start them. I wouldn't say that I can bank my money on them. But Pepe has better attributes.
Anyway, I don't even have to rotate with Havertz in the 10 anyway. I could have Trossard in the 10. Trossard just behind the striker.
But like I said, all these versatile players, they can only play one position at a time. If you get Martinelli an injury, who's going to go on the right? Or who's going to go on the left?
I think my squad's better. I do see what you're saying.
With all this versatility, each player can only play one position at a time. And we're banking with this versatility, yeah. And this is just how I see it. It's not me calling you out. Well, how I see it is this. It's all good if you only get one injury, but the season's 38 games. The season's a long-ass season, yeah? If you get multiple injuries, because you've only got a player that can play 2 positions instead of getting a number 10 that can rotate and a left winger that can rotate, what happens if both get injured? And this can happen. It's not like I'm just being toxic and negative. This can actually happen. Then what? This is the problem. So as much as I agree with you, De Jong, I'd have all day, every day, with the budget that you told me. I'd have De Jong. Who else did you say?
Ivan Toney.
Ivan Toney, I already had in my team. Lamptey, I don't think he's a bad right back. I'd have him, yeah? But at the same time, we need multiple bodies, not people that can play multiple positions. And the one thing that people love to leave out of this rotation and they can play multiple, how good are they? Like, for example, me, yeah? Let's just bring it on to me. I'm a great attacking mid. I'm a great winger. I can play a striker, but guess what? I believe that I can give you a 9 out of 10 as an attacking midfielder and a left or right winger. But as a striker, I'm giving you a 7 out of 10. So it's all good saying that I can play all these positions. How well do I play those positions? Because when you're trying to go for the league, that ain't good enough.
Yeah, I don't agree with you. That's why I went with Leroy Sané, because he's an out-and-out, winger. He can play on both sides. So he's an out-and-out winger. I've gone with Frankie de Jong in the middle because I just think if you've got Frankie de Jong and Declan Rice in your midfield, mate, the way we could interchange in that midfield is a joke, because Declan Rice and Frankie de Jong can play that 8 and the 6 and are quite comfortable playing both positions as well. The level don't drop. So, and then you've got Thomas Partey there as well. That'd just be ridiculous. And then you've got Tariq Lamptey, who can play right back, who I think is a very good right back. You got your, Ben White, who can play the centre back, the right back. You've also got Jurrien Timber that can play there as well. And then you've got your striker in Ivan Toney. I think that's a good enough team to go and win the league title. I don't know. You guys that are watching, let us know in the comments section, which team do you think is better? Mine, we both agreed to sell the same players. We both agreed, that we'd sell Jorginho, Lokonga, Rob Holding, etc., etc., etc. All the Deadwood players. The only difference between the two of us was Northside was keeping Pepe. I was selling Pepe. So the budget that we had to work with was 200 million. Mine was 220 million because I was selling Pepe. I'm bringing in Frankie de Jong. I'm bringing in Ivan Toney. I'm bringing in Tariq Lamptey. And I'm bringing in Leroy Sané. And Northside was bringing in Caicedo, Ivan Toney, João Felix, and Levi Colwill, weren't it?
Yeah, and Lamptey, yeah.
Yeah. So there we go, guys. Let us know in the comment section. We're going to wrap this up. We've done an hour. Listen, hopefully Arsenal will get Declan Rice and Jurrien Timber announced tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have some more transfer news to talk about on the way. I am going to drop a video tomorrow morning, so make sure you're keeping your eyes peeled for that. Around about 10 o'clock in the morning, I've got a video ready to go. It's going to be alive as well, so make sure you guys are tuning in. And yeah, make sure you're there. Make sure you're hitting the likes as well. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. And of course, go over to Northside's channel. Show him a bit of support as well. It's Northside LDN on YouTube. And sub to his channel as well. Some good stuff coming out of his channel. No doubt you'll probably see me on there as well at some point. I tell you what else we got to do, bro. We've got to get a video done. Me, you, Deji, and Prince Fuad. We've got to do it. We've got to do it because it's always a bit of fun when all four of us are on there. I've got Deji coming on the show as well on Friday. So again, guys, keep your eyes peeled for that. I'm trying to do a weekly show with him, because it's depressing enough talking about Arsenal, but it's, I feel sorry for the lad when he's got to talk about Tottenham. So it is what it is. We're going to get out of here, guys. So peace.
Love.